Stop right there. Before you spend another weekend exhausted in your garden, another $100 at the nursery, or another hour fighting with tangled hoses and dull tools, I need to tell you something that's going to change everything. What if the reason gardening feels so overwhelming isn't because you're doing it wrong, but because nobody ever showed you the shortcuts that experienced gardeners have been using for decades? I'm talking about simple tricks that cut your watering time in half, free fertilizers hiding in your kitchen right now, and propagation methods so easy you'll never buy another plant again. These aren't complicated techniques requiring special skills. These are dead simple hacks that save massive amounts of time, money, and backbreaking effort. Here's what I want to know. Are you spending hours every week on garden tasks that could take minutes? Are you buying expensive products when free alternatives are sitting in your recycling bin? Maybe you're working twice as hard as necessary because one small change could revolutionize your entire routine. If any of that sounds familiar, you're in exactly the right place. I'm about to share the gardening hacks that'll make you wonder why nobody told you sooner, and yes, every single one is proven, practical, and starts working immediately. This is Green Haven Homes, where we make gardening easier, cheaper, and way more enjoyable. Hit subscribe if you're ready to work smarter, not harder, in your garden. Hack 1. Coffee filter pot liners stop losing soil through drainage holes. Let's start with a problem every single gardener faces, but most just accept as normal. When you water containers, soil washes out through drainage holes, making a mess and wasting expensive potting mix. The hack that solves this instantly? Coffee filters. Before adding soil to any pot, place a coffee filter flat over the drainage hole. It allows water to drain perfectly while keeping soil exactly where it belongs. This one simple step saves you from constantly refilling pots, keeps patios and decks clean, and makes every bag of potting soil stretch significantly further. You probably have filters in your kitchen right now, or you can grab a pack for $1 either way. You've just eliminated one of gardening's most annoying problems forever. The installation takes literally 5 seconds, but the benefits compound over time. Just center the filter over the hole before adding soil, that's it. For larger pots with multiple drainage holes, use one filter per hole. The filter won't deteriorate for seasons, and when you eventually repot, you'll find the soil still intact, the roots healthy, and zero mess at the bottom. This hack is especially valuable for balcony and deck gardeners, where soil runoff creates permanent stains. It also works brilliantly for hanging baskets that used to drip muddy water every time you watered. For zero effort and essentially zero cost, you've just made container gardening cleaner, more efficient, and more economical. That's the definition of a hack worth knowing. Hack 2. Eggshell seed starters free. Biodegradable, nutrient-rich. Buying seed starting trays and peat pellets adds up fast, especially if you're starting dozens of plants each season. Here's the free alternative hiding in your breakfast trash. Eggshells. Carefully crack eggs near the top, rinse the shells, poke a small drainage hole in the bottom with a pin, fill with seed starting mix, and plant your seeds. The shells provide calcium as they break down. They're completely biodegradable, so you can plant them directly in the garden, and you're recycling something that would otherwise be garbage. When seedlings are ready to transplant, gently crush the shell and plant everything together. The shell feeds the soil while your plant establishes. You've just turned waste into the perfect seed starter that costs nothing and benefits your plants simultaneously. The practicality extends beyond just saving money. Eggshell starters are ideal for plants that hate transplant shock tomatoes, peppers, cucumber because you're never disturbing roots. The shell protects delicate seedlings, and when you plant them, you're adding slow-release calcium that prevents blossom end rot in tomatoes and peppers. Store your shells in an egg carton for perfect organization. Label each one, and you've got a self-contained seed starting system that takes up minimal space. This hack transforms something ordinary into something genuinely useful, and the satisfaction of growing plants from literal trash to treasure is incredible. Every time you crack an egg, you're creating free garden potential. Hack #3. Newspaper weed barrier. Suppress weeds and feed soil simultaneously. Weeding is the task most gardeners dread, eating up hours every week and never actually ending. This hack cuts weeding time by up to 80%. Layer newspaper 8 to 10 sheets thick directly on soil around plants, then cover with mulch. The newspaper blocks light so weeds can't germinate, but unlike plastic or landscape fabric, it's biodegradable and actually feeds your soil as it breaks down. Water penetrates perfectly, worms love it, and you've just created a weed barrier that costs nothing if you have old newspapers lying around. Within one season, you'll spend minutes weeding instead of hours, and your soil will be richer from the decomposed paper, adding organic matter. Application is straightforward, but technique matters for maximum effectiveness. Wet the newspaper as you lay it down so it stays in place. Dry paper blows away instantly. Overlap edges by several inches to prevent weeds from sneaking through gaps. Cut around existing plants carefully, getting the barrier as close to stems as possible without touching them. Then add 2 to 3 inches of mulch on top to hold everything down and improve appearance. This double-layer system is nearly impenetrable for weeds, while remaining completely permeable for water and air. For vegetable gardens, pathways between rows, or around perennials, this hack is absolutely transformative. You're eliminating repetitive labor, saving money on chemical weed killers, and improving soil health all at once. Hack 4. Banana peel fertilizer potassium boost from kitchen scraps. Commercial fertilizers are expensive and often contain chemicals you might want to avoid. Meanwhile, banana peels packed with potassium, phosphorus, and calcium go straight into your trash. The hack. Chop banana peels into small pieces and bury them around the base of flowering and fruiting plants, or soak them in water for 48 hours to create liquid fertilizer. The peels decompose quickly, releasing nutrients directly to roots. Roses, tomatoes, peppers, and any blooming plants respond dramatically to this potassium boost with more flowers, bigger fruits, and stronger overall growth. You're feeding plants premium nutrition from something that cost you nothing and would otherwise be waste. The application methods are flexible based on your preferences. For direct application, bury chopped peels 2 to 3 inches deep in soil around plants. They'll decompose within weeks. For liquid fertilizer, fill a jar with peels and water, let it sit for 2 days. Then dilute the resulting T1 to 5 with water before using. The liquid method is perfect for container plants or quick nutrient boosts during heavy flowering periods. Some gardeners even dry banana peels, grind them into powder, and sprinkle the powder directly into planting holes or onto soil surface. Whichever method you choose, you're providing targeted nutrition that plants absolutely love, spending $0, and closing the loop on kitchen waste. This hack alone can eliminate your fertilizer budget entirely if you eat enough bananas. Hack 5. DIY self-watering system with plastic bottled. Never worry about vacation watering again. Going away for a few days usually means returning to dead or stressed plants. This self-watering hack solves that anxiety completely. Take a clean plastic bottle, poke several small holes in the cap, fill it with water, and insert it upside down into soil near plant roots. Water slowly seeps out over days, keeping soil consistently moist without oversaturating. For longer trips, use larger bottles. For small pots, use water bottles. This system works beautifully for vegetables, containers, and even outdoor beds during dry spells. You've just created automatic irrigation from recycling that would have been thrown away, and your plants stay perfectly hydrated whether you're home or not. The setup takes 5 minutes, but provides days or even weeks of worry-free watering depending on bottle size and plant needs. Poke 4 to 6 small holes in the bottle cap using a pin or small nail. Too few holes and water won't flow. Too many and it drains too quickly. Test flow rate before leaving town by inserting the bottle and checking soil moisture after 24 hours. Adjusting holes if needed. Position bottles close to plant root zones, not right against stems where constant moisture could cause rot. For large garden beds, use multiple bottles spaced throughout. This hack is especially valuable for raised bed vegetables during hot summer weeks, when daily watering is normally mandatory. You're automating irrigation, conserving water through slow release, and gaining complete peace of mind about plant survival during absences. Hack 6. Vinegar weed killer non-toxic. Instant results, pennies per gallon. Chemical weed killers are expensive, potentially harmful to beneficial insects and soil health, and often overkill for small weed problems. This natural alternative works immediately and costs almost nothing. Fill a spray bottle with white vinegar, spray directly on weeds during sunny midday hours, and watch them wilt within hours. The acetic acid in vinegar desiccates plant tissue on contact. For tougher weeds, add a tablespoon of dish soap per cup of vinegar to help it stick to leaves. This works phenomenally on driveway cracks, patio weeds, and anywhere you need spot treatment without risking damage to nearby desired plants. You're eliminating weeds for pennies using something already in your pantry. Application requires some caution because vinegar is non-selective, it kills whatever it touches. Spray carefully, avoiding overspray on plants you want to keep. Sunny, warm days maximize effectiveness because heat accelerates the desiccation process. For deep-rooted perennial weeds, you may need multiple applications, but annual weeds typically die after one treatment. This hack shines in hardscaping areas where nothing should grow anyway, between pavers, in gravel paths, along fence lines. It's also perfect for organic gardeners who want zero synthetic chemicals near edibles. The instant visible results are satisfying, and knowing you're using food-safe ingredients around pets and kids provides peace of mind. For less than $3 per gallon of weed killer, you've replaced expensive commercial products with something safer and equally effective. Hack 7. Propagation in water. Multiply plants endlessly for free. Buying new plants every season destroys gardening budgets fast. This propagation hack lets you create unlimited free plants from ones you already own. Take 4 to 6 inch cuttings from healthy stems, remove lower leaves, and place cuttings in water on a sunny windowsill. Within weeks, roots develop, and you can plant your new clone directly in soil. This works brilliantly for herbs like basil and mint, houseplants like pothos and philodendron, and even some perennials and shrubs. One plant becomes 10, becomes 100, all without spending a single dollar. You're essentially creating your own nursery, sharing plants with friends, and filling your garden for the cost of patience. The technique is simple, but timing and plant selection matter. Take cuttings in spring or early summer when plants are actively growing. Use clean, sharp scissors to make cuts just below a leaf node. Change water weekly to prevent bacterial growth and keep it fresh. Some plants root in days, others take weeks. Patience is essential. Once roots are 2 to 3 inches long, transplant to soil and keep moist until established. This hack transforms how you think about plant acquisition. Need more herbs for your kitchen garden? Propagate. Want to fill a bed with coleus? Propagate. Friend admires your plant? Propagate and gift. You've turned one purchase into unlimited plants, making expensive nursery trips optional rather than necessary. Hack 8. Cinnamon as rooting hormone and fungicide. Natural disease prevention. Commercial rooting hormones and fungicides add to expenses and introduce synthetic chemicals to your garden. Cinnamon, which you already have in your spice cabinet, serves both purposes naturally. Before planting cuttings, dip the cut end in cinnamon powder. It prevents fungal infections and stimulates root development. You can also dust cinnamon on soil surface around seedlings prone to damping off disease. The antifungal properties protect vulnerable young plants while being completely safe for organic gardening. This simple spice becomes a powerful garden tool that costs practically nothing and works immediately. Application is effortless and integrates seamlessly into existing routines. Keep a small container of cinnamon in your potting area. When taking cuttings, dip the fresh cut into cinnamon before placing in water or soilets. That's simple. For seedlings showing signs of damping off, lightly sprinkle cinnamon around the base. The antimicrobial properties create a protective barrier without harmful side effects. This hack is especially valuable for propagation enthusiasts trying to maximize success rates. Every cutting that fails due to rot represents wasted time and lost potential. Cinnamon dramatically reduces failure rates. You're improving results while reducing costs. Using something safe enough to eat, but powerful enough to prevent plant diseases. Hack 9. Mulch with grass clippings. Free, nitrogen-rich, always available. Buying bags of mulch is expensive and hauling them is exhausting. Meanwhile, most people bag grass clippings and throw them away, wasting free mulch that's nitrogen-rich and perfect for gardens. The hack: after mowing, Spread a thin layer of grass clippings around plants as mulch. They suppress weeds, retain moisture, and break down quickly, feeding soil with nitrogen. This works beautifully in vegetable gardens, around perennials, and anywhere you'd use traditional mulch. You're turning lawn waste into garden gold, saving money on both mulch purchases and yard waste disposal. It's a closed-loop system that benefits everything. Proper application prevents common mistakes. Apply clippings only 1 to 2 inches thick, too thick, and they mat down, creating anaerobic conditions and bad smells. Let them dry slightly before applying to prevent clumping. Avoid clippings from lawns recently treated with herbicides if you're mulching edible gardens. Refresh the layer every few weeks as it decomposes. The decomposition process feeds soil microbes, improves texture, and provides steady nitrogen release exactly when plants need it most during active growth. This hack eliminates 2 expenses simultaneously. You're not buying mulch, and you're not paying for yard waste removal. For gardeners with lawns, this is the ultimate efficient recycling system that costs nothing and improves both lawn and garden health. Hack 10. Companion planting to reduce pests naturally. Work smarter, not harder. Pest control products are expensive and often harmful to beneficial insects. Companion planting, strategically placing certain plants together, naturally repels pests, attracts beneficial insects, and improves growth without any products. Plant marigolds near tomatoes to deter aphids, basil near peppers to repel thrips, and nasturtiums as trap crops that lure aphids away from vegetables. This ancient technique harnesses plant chemistry to create natural protection systems. You're designing your garden to defend itself, eliminating or dramatically reducing the need for interventions. The time, money, and effort saved on pest management is substantial. Implementation requires planning but delivers season-long benefits. Research which companions work for your main crops and integrate them during planting. Intersperse flowers throughout vegetable beds rather than segregating. The mixed planting confuses pests and attracts diverse beneficial insects. Herbs like dill, fennel, and cilantro attract predatory wasps and lacewings that devour pest insects. This approach transforms pest management from reactive spraying to proactive design. Your garden becomes a balanced ecosystem rather than a battlefield. The reduction in time spent dealing with pest problems is remarkable. Instead of inspecting and treating, you're simply harvesting, while companion plants do the protective work. This hack exemplifies the smartest kind of gardening. Setting up systems that run themselves. There you have it, 10 genuinely game-changing gardening hacks that save massive amounts of time, money, and effort. Coffee filter pot liners, eggshell seed starters, newspaper weed barriers, banana peel fertilizer, DIY self-watering systems, vinegar weed killer, water propagation, cinnamon as rooting hormone, grass clipping mulch, and companion planting for natural pest control. Every single one is simple, proven, and starts working immediately. Together, they represent a completely different approach to gardening, one where you work smarter, spend less, and get better results. Which hack are you implementing first? Drop a comment and let me know which problem you're most excited to solve. If these tips helped you, hit that like button, subscribe to Greenhaven Homes for weekly gardening wisdom, and share this with anyone who's working too hard in their garden. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and keep making your garden a true Greenhaven home.